Joining us now, Senator Bryce Reeves, Stafford County area. He's a Republican. He's running for re-election. Senator, great to have you with us.
John, good to be with you this morning.
So, Senator, number one, tell us how your campaign is going.
No, we're doing fantastic. 35 days in a wake-up, man. You know, it's a short time now. So we're out hitting the doors. We're doing what we need to do. We're going to meetings. We're meeting voters. We're trying to raise money still to keep up with our opponent and the whole Democratic Party that's nationwide pouring money into Virginia so they can control redistricting, so ultimately they can control Congress. So, that's what we're facing this year, and we just got to continue to get our message out that, if you want responsible government, leave the Republicans in charge of the budget. So
let me ask you something, Bryce. What is the message of the Bryce Reeves for re-election campaign? Why should people vote you back in your district?
It's real simple. It's about leadership, and over the last 8 years, we've shown proven leadership. We've had the ability to lead under very stressful conditions at times, and gotten results. When you talk about real results, not like what Congress is doing right now, but real results. Last year alone, this is just last year, not in the last 8 years, we got foster care reform done. When I got told by bureaucrats that you could not get foster care done, not only did we get it done, we got it done in a bipartisan fashion. We got 140 members, and that's all the members of the General Assembly, every one of them, to sign off on fixing foster care. And a good friend on the other side of the aisle, Janet Howe, who is a senior member, ranking member on finance, went and got us $2.8 million to help fix it. And we're not completely done, but I think that shows leadership in order to get things done like that. A few years ago, we had our concealed carry taken away, and I was the only Republican at the table to work a deal with Terry McAuliffe to not only get our concealed carry back, but expand those rights of our Second Amendment. And for a sitting governor to go against his sitting attorney general is to say something about doing the right thing. And so if you want a leader that's going to do the hard right over the easy wrong, then vote me in. If you want a leader that's going to go along with this leftist liberal super ideology and vote the way that things have been going and what they've been pushing, my opponent started Emily's List here in Virginia. One of her favorite candidates is a delegate now, Kathy Tran, who brought the infanticide bill in. If that's the kind of leadership that Virginia wants, then vote her in. If you want proven, steady-hand leadership that understands the greater picture, the 30,000-foot view, then vote me back in, because I will tell you, I spoke to our Chamber of Commerce, Virginia Chamber of Commerce, asked me to come down and speak to their veterans event they just had. 600-plus in attendance, multiple big corporations talking about what's important to Virginia with 30 military installations, these sort of things, the progress that we've made. Look, we worked on a resolution last year, John, that got us another wing of F-22 Raptors down to your area, your district, down in Virginia Beach from Tisdale. That's leadership, working across the aisle, setting the example, being mature, and getting things done despite chaos and anarchy. This last year was not an easy time to lead, but Republicans led. And right now, people in your listening area are getting tax returns back. I know this because I've heard from those people. They got those tax returns and that little money back. Some of that money was about $110 to $220. They're getting that back because Republicans led. We didn't take that $550 million and spend it as Governor Northam wanted to do. We gave it back to the people who earned it. And, it's not a ton of money, but it's enough money that people can put away into savings, or they can pay that extra bill that they've been trying to get their credit card debt down. But, and if you continue to allow us to do that, we will lead in a responsible way.
Tell me about your opponent, Amy Laufer. She's campaigning as somewhat of a moderate, but you refer to her as part of the far left liberal whack job contingent that has really taken over the Democratic Party of Virginia. How would you classify Amy politically, Bryce?
I consider her like the rest of those that group that's kind of taken over Congress, the AOCs of the General Assembly. We have them in our own General Assembly. We have the delegate from Prince William, who's a devout socialist. Now, I'm not calling Amy a socialist, but I will tell you she will vote a lot right along with them if that group takes control, which I think they will absolutely, if given the opportunity in the House to take control, will head that direction. They're being pulled to the left. You can see that in their presidential candidates as they work for Medicare or socialized medicine for everyone. She believes in that. And so that's what tells me, look, she is running the same campaign that Spanberger ran against Dave Bratt. She doesn't even have that she's a Democrat on her paperwork, other than if you have to look at the fine print to find out that the Democrat Party of Virginia ran it. So, look, they're not stupid. I mean, nobody's calling the left stupid. They have a strategic plan nationally, funded by Obama and Holder and Soros and the group, to take back general assemblies or houses, the legislature in the state level, nationwide, so they can control redistricting. Virginia is first in the queue. They're going to get them all, try to get them all back so they can ultimately control Congress by the way they redistrict. That's what's the master plan here, and she is a pawn in the big scheme of what the left is trying to do.
You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network, Trucking the Truth Across America. We're with State Senator, Republican Virginia, Bryce Reeves. He represents the 17th district. That's basically the Culpeper through Central Virginia, Fredericksburg, part of Louisa and Spotsylvania. So it's a big swath of area. Senator, let me ask you this. Let's get clarity on some of your opponent Amy Laufer's positions. For instance, how does she stand on the Kathy Tran late third trimester infanticide bill? How does she stand on that?
So if she was a senator and that bill came to the Senate just like it did when Jennifer McClellan, who carried it in the Senate, she would vote for it.
Right.
So she's for it. So she's not going to come out and say she wouldn't vote for it. She certainly can. But look, just like Spanberger, she's voting to impeach, but she ran as a moderate, if you want to even call it that. She's going to vote that way. She's not going to come out in an election year and say she's not going to, I'm not going to do that, da-da-da-da. The truth is she was on the school board in Charlottesville. She wasn't liberal. She was so liberal they didn't even want her on the the city council in Charlottesville. So she moved to the county to run against me. And so that's what we have. And look, you can take my word for it, or you can elect her, watch her get in office, and then have buyer's remorse. Look, I'm a proven entity. People know who we are. We have a positive message. We're all about growth. John, I'll tell you something I'm very, very excited about. If I got 2 seconds to talk.
Yes.
Is there is a underpinning of immigrants, especially in my district, Latino immigrants that have come to me wanting help because we've helped them with some of their immigration issues. And that is a federal issue, but it's a local issue when you have individual cases. And we've worked quite a few of them, so much so that there was a group that formed Latino for Reeves in my district, and it was fantastic. We had over 50-plus Latinos come out for an event. They've got several other events, and there is a movement afoot on this. And people have in their head that Trump is anti-immigrant. He's not anti-immigrant. He's anti-illegal immigration right now till we can get a handle on what we have and where we have it. And their administration, I will say this about the Trump administration, is there are people in that West Wing that have helped us on some immigration issues that were critical if we didn't get them solved, and we are working some of those now, and they're helping us, that these people would be sent out of our country, and they're helping us to keep them here because of some of the extenuating circumstances of those things. So I will tell you that we're excited about that, getting these people the help that they need.
All right, let me get back to your opponent, Mark Levine, House of Delegates member from Northern Virginia, and other members of the Virginia Democratic Coalition running for the House of Delegates. If they take over, it's going to be what I call caucus of the corn. But Levine has called for the confiscation of all assault weapons in Virginia. Confiscation, right? This is a bill he put in. I'm not making this up. You're aware of it. How does Amy Laufer stand on that?
Well, I'll tell you, she stands shoulder to shoulder with a guy named Robert Francis O'Rourke, otherwise known as Beto, who's running for president. She campaigned with him. He campaigned for her. If you remember what he said damn right, we're coming after your assault rifles, and he wants to take them all. So what does that say? If she's willing to take this guy's endorsement campaign with him, she wants him at the tip of the spear to help her get elected, I think we already know where Amy Laufer is. She wants to take everybody's guns. She wants to take all those things. Damn with the Constitution. She doesn't care about that. So, look, that's where we're at. We're polar opposites. Let me say that. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in doing what's right. And look, some things that we vote on in the General Assembly are mere policy. But in situations like this, where they want to throw the Constitution out the window regardless of what people think because it makes them feel better, we got real problems.
Bryce Reeves with us, running for re-election, state senator, 17th district in Virginia. That's the Central Virginia area. That'll be decided. His election will be decided on November 5th. Let's get to one more issue with your opponent, Amy Laufer. If the Democrats take over, is she going to vote to repeal right to work, which a lot of people say is one of the key reasons why Virginia continues to rank the number one state in the nation for companies to do business in? Will she vote to repeal right to work in Virginia?
My personal opinion is she will. What really bothers me about this, John, is, attorneys wrote that language up when it was on the ballot. And I think a lot of people were confused and they were just not really understanding what that was in the last time we had it on the ballot. So it failed. And I remember the minority leader, Dick Saslaw, standing on the floor of the Senate, articulating how in the 37, 38 years he's been there, that right to work, we don't need this because right to work will always be here, and there will never be a chance to, we'll never not have right to work. And if you look from that time to today in the last couple of years, and the bills that have come through to get rid of it, to allow unions to have a monopoly to force people into these agreements where they're having to pay their hard-earned money each month. Do I think she'll vote for it? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? She's a sheep. She's not a sheepdog. She's not going to be out to protect the flock. She's going to be part of the flock. She'll vote for it. Look, if everybody's listening, I've been doing this game long enough to realize when people reveal who they are to you the first time, believe them. She has done that on the school board. She tried to do it in the city council but failed. She's going to try to do this in the General Assembly. Look, she's not a leader, guys. She is a follower, and she believes in what she believes. She's in the far left column. If that's what my citizens in the 17th district want, and that's the way it goes, look, I'm all about, we've talked about this, John. I'm a coach, and I will tell you, this election is tough. It's really tough because of the outside influence coming in from other states, New Jersey, New York, California, Act Blue, all the left money that's coming in from all over the place. It's making it tough. But look, winners don't complain when the other team plays the game. Let me tell you something, folks. The other team, the left, is playing the game. Now, the rules aren't written the same. They don't apply to each team the same. The refs are for the other side right now. And guess what? The press box, the announcer's booth, they're for the other side. But somehow, as conservatives, as Republicans, what I tell my team is not two things. We have to have the will to win, and we have to find a way to win. And we're going to do that. Now, will it be close? Will it be 86 votes? Will it be 1 vote? I don't care. A win is a win. We'll take it. We'll put it on the board. And that's what we're looking for in 35 days. And what I need is people that are listening in my district to get out, get a sign out, send some money into the campaign, no matter how small it is. Find the candidate that you believe in, that you know is a leader, that's going to do the right thing when no one's looking, and that's the person you need to vote for.
Let me ask you something, Senator Reeves. I get your message. That's why I wanted to have you on today. It's pretty loud and clear. What's the Republicans' message in Virginia apart from you? What is their message? Do you have any idea?
I do. And I think that's been the hardest part is because we don't have a statewide candidate that can go out and help us raise money. We're all kind of on our own. And being quite frank, and you know this, our party in the Commonwealth is not functioning at 100%. We're on life support with regard, I think, in some aspects to bringing our party together under one message, under one banner. But I will tell you, I know for a fact my colleagues in the Senate and the House, because we've been working so well together through all the challenges, is responsible leadership is the Republican Party. If you want folks that understand where the working class is, and those people that are 30 days from the street, we get that because a lot of us own businesses. We have to put away estimated quarterly taxes. We know what it is to sign the front side of a paycheck, not just the back, and how to make payroll. All right? Things are good right now. We've fixed our taxes. We've gotten those things done. People have seen that. They're going to see that in their mailbox soon. If you like what you see in your mailbox and getting a check back from the government, then continue to allow Republicans to lead, and we will do that. That is the message. It's conservative, fiscal conservative leadership from the top that gets down and does the work we have to do.
And the other guys are nuts. Is that basically it? Their policies?
Look, you can see what's coming out of Washington, which is nothing. And if I can wrap this up real quick, I am so angry. If I come across angry, it's because I'm passionate about one thing, and that is taking care of those who have borne the battle, who have worn the cloth of the country. And a few years ago, I passed a bill, a bipartisan bill, that set up veterans dockets in the Commonwealth. We now have 7 of them. And a group of us got together and said, hey, wait, we don't have enough money. And we're always talking about government trying to help. Well, listen, this is one area where they could help us, help those who have borne the battle. And we got a bill going through. Charlie Crist, a Democrat from Florida, is carrying HB 886. And it's going through, and Congressman Whitman and all Scalise, we met with Pelosi's people, McConnell's people, Marco Rubio, a friend of mine, whom you know that, John, is going to help shepherd that thing through the Senate. And it's on the glide path. And we got it out of committees, and we're going. It's supposed to have a vote and get done, and then now we have this impeachment crap. And what bothers me most is that we're going to deal with trying to oust this president again for the umpteenth time, and probably nothing will come off that floor, and we got 25 veterans a day killing themselves or getting themselves in trouble. And we have a way to really help those people, and we're going to play partisan politics with people's lives. And if that bill doesn't come off the floor this year and get signed by our president, there's going to be hell to pay.
Are you standing behind President Trump, Senator, on this impeachment inquiry?
This is a joke. And in fact, John, I will read you, if we have a second.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read you an email I literally just got from a lady, and I hope it's okay to say her name because she's an RN and a BSN, and she's never really engaged in politics. This is from September 28th, and it struck me. It said, Dear Mr. Reeves, I'm one of your constituents, and I have a concern. I'm not an overly political person, but I pay attention to the current events and trends. I've never written to a politician. Mind you, I have never written to a politician. I like to think that I'm reasonable and see, quote, the gray areas in life. I'm a registered nurse, so I believe I make prudent choices and I critically think. I write to you because of the impeachment proceedings. I find that the current actions against President Trump are yet another incredible waste of taxpayer funds. These constant attacks on our president are seen by most people I speak to as poor behavior on the part of our representatives. Gallup polls list politicians lowest on the list of most trusted professionals for honesty and ethics. The current actions against President Trump, as well as the previous, reflect negatively on all representatives and give credence to that poll. The constant belittling and pettiness has hurt our nation's credibility. Instead of focusing on important issues, one side throws a tantrum at the taxpayers' expense. Instead of standing up for what's right, our representatives stay silent and don't stop the tantrum. Please know that the people who elect officials, the public, do not see these actions as beneficial to our country, but behavior you would see on Maury Povett's show. We are tired of the show. It needs to stop, and our elected officials need to get back to paying attention to the real issues. And she's nonpartisan. So what does that tell you, John? The American people have had enough. So do I stand with the president? You betcha. Would I have stood with Obama if the Republicans tried to do this crap to him too? You betcha. Because unless it's a malfeasance or hype, don't stop the tantrum. Please know that the people who elect officials, the public, do not see these actions as beneficial to our country, but behavior you would see on Maury Povett's show. We are tired of the show. It needs to stop, and our elected officials need to get back to paying attention to the real issues. and she's nonpartisan. So what does that tell you, John? The American people have had enough. So do I stand with the president? You betcha. Would I have stood with Obama if the Republicans tried to do this crap to him too? You betcha. Because unless it's a malfeasance or high crime that's provable and it's blatant and it's clear, let's get on to the business of the people, because we are suffering, and it's critical that we get there. There are nations that are chewing at our heels, that want to pick a fight, that want to take us to the mat, and we're sitting here infighting. And if we continue to do that, I think Lincoln said, a house divided cannot stand. And as long as we continue on this track, we're not going to continue to be the greatest nation in the world. We're going to start falling behind, and you'll start seeing it.
Well, Senator, I appreciate your support for the president, because I, too, believe that this witch hunt is beyond the scope or pale of anything I've ever seen in politics. I mean, they couldn't get him on Russia. They couldn't get him on the recession. Their whole racism thing failed. Now they lied about the economy. They lie about China. And now they have this whistleblower thing that you read the transcript, he didn't do anything, and now they're going to tie the country up for another 12 months. You know, it's despicable what they're doing, and the president has done nothing wrong. But I guarantee you, Senator Reeves, I guarantee you, Republicans are going to bail on Trump in the next month, because that's what they have a history of doing. They're going to bail on him, and at the end of the day, he's going to be successful. He's going to get reelected. He's going to win again, only bigger. And it's going to be people like Bryce Reeves that are going to be remembered who stood behind him. Senator, thanks for being with us.
Sean, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate the opportunity to get on. You know, I always love coming on. One of these days we got to get on and we got to talk some sports too.